Who are you?
I'm Christian Goyle.
What do you study?
I study medicine.
And what year are you in?
Final year now.
So how much do you study?
I study quite a lot, but not all the time. I tend to relax and I tend to work when I need to work.
Are you happy you chose Imperial?
I am very happy I chose Imperial. I feel like it's one of the best places in the world to come and study.
When do you graduate?
I'm actually already passed. I'm actually already a doctor, but I guess technically on paper, I finished the course in July 2023.
Where do you graduate?
Here, at Royal Albert Hall.
What's your favourite thing about Imperial?
The fact that we're right here in South Kensington, Knightsbridge, in front of the Royal Albert Hall, the location.
Okay, what's the worst thing about Imperial?
A lot of people that do these videos will say the fact that it's in London is quite expensive, but I'll be honest, it can get a little bit toxic sometimes.
What are the best things about studying in London?
The fact everything's at your doorstep. Whether you want to go for leisure, academic, whether you just want to go for a walk, there's greenery, there's restaurants, there's bars, there's clubs, there's everything you ever want.
What did you wish you knew before starting uni?
Make sure that you take time to enjoy it and not just study all the time.
What's your first memory of uni?
Mum and Dad dropping me off 2 big suitcases off at my accommodation, Byte Hall.
Okay, and where are we now?
So right now, we're walking into one of the accommodations, Byte Hall.
What other options are there for accommodation?
So for accommodation, Imperial has halls all over London. In South Kensington, obviously you have the Byte Hall there, which is one of the famous ones, one of the oldest.
What's one thing you loved about Byte?
How open it is, how much light you get in the rooms, and the big Victorian windows.
What's one thing you disliked?
The noise, because this is the central hub. Here we have the bar, here we have, you know, the party, the atmosphere. Can get quite loud, particularly on a Wednesday.
And what room were you in?
I was actually in that room right over there.
What's the coolest thing about Byte?
Probably the fact that I've seen lots of celebrities coming around here, because as you get Royal Albert Hall, you get film premieres. So I've seen the likes of Margot Robbie, and I've also had snipers on my roof when the Queen came to visit.
Are you an active member of societies?
I would say I'm a big active member. I've done a lot of societies. I've done cricket, both Imperial and medics, and I've done some academic societies as well.
Have you done any student shows?
Yes, I have. So I've done a dance show, EMW. East meets West. I've also done a fashion show for the medic.
Which one was your favourite?
The fashion show, purely because I love getting in shape. I love the challenge, the hard work that went in, and reaping the rewards on stage. I'll never get a buzz like that again in a long time.
Where do you like to chill on campus?
Oh, I love chilling whenever there's greenery and there's sunlight. So maybe the Queen's Tower lawns.
What is that behind you?
Behind me we've got Imperial's Library, which is the hub if you want to try and get some good studying done.
And what other libraries have you used?
I've only really used this one. I've used one in Hammersmith, and I've used one in St Mary's Hospital.
Which one's your favourite?
The South Kensington one. I think nothing beats the South Ken Library. Even during exams and final year, came specially to this library.
Why is this your favourite?
Because of the environment around it. When you're finishing study, if you need a break, you can go for a walk. There's different floors. You know, it's just an all-round nice place to study.
How long do the libraries open for?
It's open 24/7 most days of the week, except I believe like Friday it closes a little bit early and it opens a little bit late on a Saturday morning, which I believe is good because it means that you don't really want your students working 24/7, 7 days a week.
Have you ever done an all-nighter?
Yes, I have. Back in, I think it was second year, I had like an assignment due, bad time management back in the day. Yeah, had to pull an all-nighter, but it was good fun. Not that I recommend it. Always sleep responsibly.
How much sleep do you get?
7 to 8 hours a night.
Where's your favourite place to study in the library?
The 3rd floor.
What happens on Tuesdays?
All this space here becomes a farmer's market. And you get all this lovely food and produce, including, you know, brownies, all types of cuisine, and it smells really, really good.
What was your favourite thing to get?
Brownies, and I also used to get this Greek dish, which was like a wrap, gyros.
What's that tower?
This is Queen's Tower, which is basically the pride and joy of Imperial. It's literally the central tower that you see pretty much in all the photos when you type in Imperial in Google.
What's one thing you regret not doing at Imperial?
Actually has to do with this tower. So as you can see, right now it's under construction, but a lot of people, in fact, it's a tradition for all Imperial students to one day go inside the tower, climb up to the top and enjoy the amazing views of London. And obviously, I can't do that.
Did the COVID pandemic impact your uni experience?
I would say yes, it did. But I don't want to be, you know, ungrateful, because I've been at uni for 6 years, so I've been able to enjoy it. I know some people's uni experience completely ruined by the pandemic.
Did COVID impact your learning?
COVID did impact my learning, personally, because I find it hard to engage with online material.
Where's the main medicine building?
It's right over there, if you can see that. That's what we call the Sir Alexander Fleming building, named after the guy that discovered penicillin.
What happens here?
Pretty much all the main activities, lectures, tutorials, labs, even we used to have small group teachings, PBL. Obviously the course has changed a little bit now over time and refined to make it better, but that's pretty much the hub. But realistically, we only really use that in first year. After that, we pretty much all go to the Charing Cross campus, about 20 minutes away.
Can we have a tour?
Funnily enough, you should ask that. I've actually done a tour in one of my videos. I'll link that above.
What is there to do nearby campus?
We are in central South Kensington, Knightsbridge area. There are loads and loads of museums. So one of the amazing museums, the Science Museum just over there. There's a Natural History Museum. There's lots of shops, bars, restaurants, pubs. And there's also obviously Hyde Park very close by.
Which one's your favourite museum?
The Natural History Museum. I've got to go with the OG. I remember going school trips there when I was a young kid back in primary school. So it brings up a number of nostalgic memories.
Have you been to all of them?
I have been to all of them, yes. But I'll make a confession. So the Science Museum over there, I've only been to once. And I know that's bad, going to Imperial, which is literally the best STEM university in the world. I've been there once when I was 6. So I am due a visit. And the fact that it's right here on my campus as well, that is shocking. So I will be paying that a visit soon.
Wait, what is this road called?
Exhibition Road. As you can see, it's very, very busy. It's a central hub for a lot of tourists because obviously all the museums and things are over here.
What's the best thing about this road?
The lovely cars. I'm a big car enthusiast and I do see a lot of supercars parked up here along this road.
What's the worst thing?
Would have to be the fact, if we can have a look over there, there's no markings. So as someone who is prone to risk, it's very dodgy.
And what is this building?
Imperial College London business building.
And what's so special about this business building?
This business building, it's the hub of Imperial Business School, which is one of the best business schools in the world. It's also one of the newest buildings. It's one of the flagship buildings that we have. Really modern, really nice. And yeah, it's really nice to look at.
Are there any opportunities for medics?
This is something that not a lot of people know about. But when you do medicine, you actually get to intercalate, which is basically you do another degree in 1 year. And you can actually intercalate at the Imperial Business School and get an Imperial Business School degree if you come here and study medicine.
What's the coolest thing about the business school?
I would say the coolest thing about the business school would have to be this, very modern.
Have there been any success stories?
Yes, one success story that I've heard about as a rumour would be, again, one of the medics that intercalated. Apparently, as part of their coursework, they had to set up a business, an app, and they were able to develop that app and sell it to the NHS, and now they're all multi-millionaires. So that's a success story I've heard.
Why is this place familiar?
It's been on The Apprentice.
What is this area?
I think they call it the Golds area. It's just a nice open space. Sun shines. Sorry, it's not the Golds area. It's called the Dalby Court.
And what can you do here?
Here you can have a seat, have lunch. It's a little bit of a quieter area, open space, away from the hustle and bustle. And also there are loads of nice restaurants and cafes dotted around this place.
How do you look so good after 6 years of med school? What's your secret?
Well, thank you very much, first of all. But I would say the secret to that is work-life balance, making sure that you live a healthy lifestyle.
And where can you eat on campus?
If you walk down here, what we call the walkway, we have loads of different restaurants and cafes all dotted around here. And the best thing about this place is it smells divine in the morning. It really whets your appetite. And we also have a whole food court as well, where you get loads and loads of different options.
Why bother when you're in London?
Well, actually, in all these uni cafes, restaurants, you do get a student discount, of course. But then again, you also get a student discount in most other places. So really, it's the convenience. If you don't want to leave campus, if you're in a rush, you want a quick bite to eat, you want to chill with your friends in between lectures, you can just chill here.
What if you meal prep or cook from home?
So I know a lot about meal prepping, being on prep, being on cut. What you can do there is there are a number of microwaves available. I use one in SAF in particular. I really like the wattage that poses.
Where do I get merch to flex from?
So if you want to get merchandise to flex on all those, uncles and aunties showing you that you're at the best university in London or the world, you can actually go to the university shop. and get loads of different items of branded merchandise.
Are there any uni rivalries?
So the uni rivalries makes me laugh every time because lots of London universities think there's a rivalry between Imperial and whatnot. But the issue is like for there to be a rivalry, there has to be some form of competition. And there just isn't any. They're playing in the home counties leagues, we're in the Champions League. So it is what it is.
Do unis mix with each other?
So some unis do mix with each other. There are inter-university events. One to mention would be like, for instance, Just Bollywood, which is an Indian dance competition where you do get lots of mix of different unis.
How have you trained since coming here?
I think I've changed physically and mentally. You know, when I came in here, I was a boy. I'm leaving a man. I've also packed on 20 kilos of lean mass and I've felt that I've matured. I've known how to manage my time, work independently, manage stress, and really develop.
What are your plans for the near future?
I'm actually going to be becoming a doctor in the NHS. I'm already a doctor now, thanks to my results. But yeah, I'll be working in the NHS as a doctor.
What will you miss most about
I
uni?
think what I'll miss most about uni is probably the free time, the independence. You know, you can pretty much do what you want, manage your own calendar, whereas when you're working, you have to be at a set place at a set time.
What are you most excited for about the future?
I would probably say the thing I'm most excited about would be going into the unknown and going into the world. I feel like in university, you're in a bit of a bubble, and it's nice to really get out there after being here for 6 years.
What was one piece of advice you were told when you started?
Uni will go quickly, and I always laughed at that. I was like, I'm here for 6 years, mate. That's not going to go quick. But in fact, it did. It does go in a blink of an eye.
And what's one piece of advice for your younger self?
Don't focus too much on what other people are doing and focus on what you know is right. You can get quite stressed out by looking at your friends doing all this work and what they're doing and you're not doing that and looking at others. Just focus on what you need to do and everything will fall in place. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. That's 73 questions.